Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 108. Look, we've got a great show for you today, but firstly, an apology. We're a little bit later starting today than we otherwise would be. We had a few technical difficulties trying to reach Topor. It seems that our ability to connect to down south and the Invercargill internet, etc., seem to do very well when we can't go up the road to Topor, which is a bit frustrating. But we are here now, and everything's working. We've got the full team. They're all. I can see them on the camera there. They're just waiting in the golf club at Topor golf course, and they're all ready to go. So we'll get to those guys in a second. Few things we've got on today. We're going to go through some hot scores first up. So I'll be going through that shortly. Then we're going to cut to the guys in Topor. We've got Ken Harris, Hayden Shaw joining Brady Cush. And we're going to talk to them all about North Island Champs, which kicks off tomorrow. Brady's had a chance to play the black layout, I think, for the pros today. So we're going to get his thoughts on that layout. And as ever, if you've got any questions for any of our guests, then pop them in the comments below. And please like, comment, and subscribe, just like Moisty has on Twitch. Thank you so much. And A Sterling02, thank you so much for the follows. Let's get into it with our hot scores. Starting first of all down south, it's Joshua Walker with 14 under par at Queen's Park in Invercargill, who puts in the hot round for the week. Very well done to him. And up at Dunedin, it's Jack Maffey and Aubrey Gray who share the spoils at 6 under par. 6 under par was also enough for Lance Easton to get the hot score at Chingford. At Brockville. And then at Queenstown Gardens, Alexandra Williams hits 10 under par. Anything double digits at the Gardens is a good score. Jin Kato, it's always sunny in Tuckers, and he hits 5 under par. Well done to him. Henry Boyle hits Ely Point with a 4 under par, and Johnny Menzies hits Lismore for 14 under par. Very good work. Ashton Clark goes one better at Jelly Park with a 15 down, and Sebastian Faulkner's 7 down. Ascot Park is enough for him to take the honours this week. Over at Queen's Park Reserve, Michael Capoletto hits 6 under par, and Ben Schicker and Jeremy Brockenshire can't decide who wants to take home the honours this week, tying as they do 5 under par. Up to the North Island, and it's that man, that myth, that legend, Simon Fogarty, who hits 6 under par once again. Shares it this week with Keith Furlow, who I know is up in Topor, and will be looking to put a good round together outside the capital this weekend. Over at Hikoikoi, Mark Baumann shoots 3 under par along with Pedro, and Pedro was up at Harcourt Park again, pestering Ben Morrison for his hot score, tying as they did 3 under par. Johnny Wake up in Palmerston North hits the hot score at Linklater with 6 under. And Daniel Smith hits 3 under par at Marylands. At Spa Park Red, it's Disker who hits 1 under par. Josh Pratt hits 3 under at McLaren's. And Richard Waterson hits 7 under par at Henderson. Congratulations to everybody who hit a hot score this week. It never fails to amaze me some of the scores that people achieve. So very well done to you. Right, now it's time to bring in our guests. I think they're ready. At least I hope they are. And so let's see if we're there. Good evening, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Good evening, man.
Excellent. I think we can both hear you. Can you just pop it in the comments? We've been having a few technical difficulties, so we're going to do a bit of crowdsourcing quality control here. And if you're struggling to hear either of the two feeds, then please let us know. So over in Topor there, I'll let them introduce themselves. Why don't we start with Ken?
Introduce yourself, Ken. So I'm Ken Harris, and I'm president of the Topor Disc Golf Club, as well as assistant tournament director for the 2023 Topor Nui Atia Disc Golf Classic, presented by Discmania. Nice.
Very good.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Hey everybody, my name's Hayden Shaw. I am the managing director of Disc Shot Disc Golf, and I am the tournament director for that event. That's just mania.
Excellent.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Who's this guy?
and I'm your usual co-host, Brady, if you highlight that.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
so, is this the biggest event this weekend?
I think we're still one shy.
Everyone's
What we do have is the biggest Anfield by far ever, and we have the biggest ladies field by far ever. So that's good.
That is good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So,
And we're very proud of what we've done.
Yeah.
so talk us through this, because this is quite a thing, right? Everybody at the moment, at least it seems to be, we're getting a little bit of an echo from you guys. So I don't know if you've got a speaker on there that might be able to be turned down, possibly. I don't know if it's...
I'm gonna blame this guy.
Blame that guy?
I think it's probably the screen coming into the smartphone.
Okay, it might be. Okay, well, we'll see if we can do it. There's not a lot I can do from here, but we shall
Can you do it, Mikey?
try.
We're working on things. We have such a fan.
Uh, okay.
That's where he's better.
Okay. Right. Lovely. What I want to start with is it seems to be, and we've been, maybe it's because, you know, for the first time probably in New Zealand history, and I think I'm right in saying this, more on this later actually, that these three tournaments that we've had, the final one of these, they've all been more or less the same size. Yeah, they've more or less the same time of year. You've had very strong fields in each of the tournaments, so there's naturally going to be some competitiveness from each tournament. They all want to kind of outdo each other, right? So how important is this kind of record setting thing to you guys up in Topol? Because it's obviously, you know, it's noteworthy for you guys.
It's a valid question, because I think last year, if you recall, we had 164, I think, and that was the record.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden, it's like that became, we can beat that, we can beat that, and now everybody is reaching that sort of this point, as you say, we're all kind of around the same place, and I don't know if it's something external that is causing the sport to grow to this point, if it's the tournaments themselves have gotten really cool and really exciting, and people want to be a part of them. People want to be a part of competitive disc golf versus just throwing a frisbee in a park. I mean, there's got to be a lot of factors to it, and it's probably hard to pinpoint anything in particular. I think it's very cool that all three tournaments are right, like, on the same page. And I went to nationals, not because I'm good, but because I wanted to see and I wanted to learn what it was like and how it compares to what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, just amazed. I'm really, really impressed and blown away by the field and the competitiveness and just how well everything was run and I hope that, I guess, we all just keep improving together. And personally, for me, if we're one shy, if we're 2 up, if we're 10 down, if we're 15 up, it doesn't really matter. I don't think that's the long-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
The long-term goal is, let's just make this all across the country as good as it can be and align it together and have it be not necessarily one club or one entity that's doing better than anybody else, but have New Zealand Disc Golf be a destination for the world and something that we can all as a country be proud of. Because I think New Zealand is quite good at that, at doing things that the country can be proud of, and I hope that what we're doing as disc golf people together. Anyway, that's my take.
I would like to chime in a little bit there too.
Mm-hmm.
We did keep an eye on the numbers, don't get me wrong.
Thank you. It's the honest opinion.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not the main focus of what we're trying to do here. I'd like to shout out the Christchurch Disc Golf Club for taking up a level. I'd like to take the Disc Golf South guys for taking up a level. I went to both events. I went over Steve, I went over Ken, the three main guys here that were working on this event, and we took a lot from those events, and we were lucky we were third. You know, if we'd been first, the other guys might have done some other stuff. It is what it is. We're stoked to take it up a level. We couldn't have done it without those two clubs doing it initially. One down, two down, doesn't matter. Like it's progression in sport. Wait till next year. Wait till see what Invercargill does next year. Wait till see what Christchurch does next year. I mean, yeah, like Ken said, it's all about getting better. It's all about bringing in those internationals. We've got a scene here. Let's do it.
Yeah, I know there's a number of internationals who will be coming over next year. I mean, Nate mentioned he'd be back, and I'm aware of at least one other pro who is keen to come to New Zealand next summer. Now, but I want to focus quickly just on the MA2 division, because you mentioned that was the biggest amateur division. MA2 makes up 73 players this weekend. It's triple the size of the MPO field. What do you put that down to? Why is the MA2 division bloated? Sounds like it's an insult, but why is it so big?
If you don't mind, I'll answer that again.
Yeah.
There's a number of reasons. The first one is right at the very start, we might have scared a few people off with that pro layout. Pro layout is long, tough, decent. It was designed for not MA2 players. So,
Okay.
It's not designed for MA1 players. It's really only MA2 players. So we encourage people to with a rating cap to potentially look at MA2. Personally, for me, I think the shorter course is slightly better. It's a nice thing. Obviously, you know, big arms are different, but we personally marketed towards amateur players for their first events. Those guys, the scene up in the North Island here is the growth is massive. The Total Disc Golf Club, wait to see the podiums. It's going to be littered with typical Disc Golf Club shirts, and those guys are not quite ready for MA1. They will be. The Spa Park course, the Total Disc Golf Club progression. This is going to be the next big thing down here. So MA2 is a stepping stone. I think that's probably what a lot of people are going into. I think that's important. MA2 is an important division.
Yeah, I guess the where it has been the last few years, I'm not exactly sure, but maybe does it have anything to do with the fact that the South Island has been perhaps more established for a longer period of time? They've got more MPO players for a longer period of time, and the North Island, we had a very big MA3 division last year. And I've been talking to a lot of the MA2 guys, and they're like, I played MA3 last year, I'm stepping up to MA2, I'm stepping up to MA40, and I think that is, like anything else in New Zealand, sometimes it just, the tail is coming up, and we'll see, because of the courses that are being built and the difficulty out there, we'll see that player progression, and, next year, obviously, nationals are, I guess, expected based on the cadence of things, expected to be in the North Island next year. Obviously, you get a lot of the pros from the South Island to come up. But I'm curious to see what the North Island Championships will bring next year, because maybe you'll see more MPOs in the North Island, more MA1s in the North Island next year. And I think just that it takes time to get it there.
It's interesting. You should bring that up, actually, because the data analytics team here at Sweet Chair Music have been doing a lot of digging recently. And I had a feeling that. Thank you for doing that. We've recently hit somewhat of a gold mine in terms of a type of data that the team can access, and we'll be able to show quantitatively. Is that a word? Quantitatively? I can't even say it. That's the one, yeah. I've just got to say it slower. Quantitatively, how the divisions have changed over time, and we'll be able to give some tournament directors maybe a prediction on how big certain divisions might be in the future, right? So, which is quite an interesting thing. In terms of the tournament this weekend, let's move to that. You've got all of the as far as I've got it, you've got all of the pro divisions playing on the black course. Have I called that the right name?
Yep.
And Brady, you played this course today in a practice round, I understand.
Yeah, so I played today at the golf course.
Yeah.
Oh, all the microphones.
Excellent. So
One at a time.
just
So I
talk.
played Spot Park in the past, and so yeah, I played the black layout today here at the golf course.
Okay, so talk us through it. We won't go hole by hole because I don't have any graphics for it, but talk us through some of the highlights and what people can expect if perhaps they didn't get a practice round in. I doubt there's very many people of that, or indeed people who just want to know what you guys are going to be doing.
It's like Hayden said, it's long and rough. There's a lot of OB on the course. There's a lot of like basket placements that brings the like brush and the trees into play. So the idea of really attacking this course, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's kind of what this course is for. Like on the black layout, it's tough. Apparently, it's easier than years past. Some parts have been lightened up. Some OBs have been eased. Some others haven't. Some others have gone the other way. But the idea of there's supposed to be a bit of a weather bomb that's supposed to come in over the next couple days. As per usual with most tournaments, it seems like Nationals was kind of the same way. That they got a bit of weather down there. Christchurch got a bit of wind down there. So the idea that a bit of wind and rain is par for the course for majors this year. So I think that's really going to be the challenge. The golf course here is a 21-hole layout, so it's super long on top of all the par fours. Is there a par 5? Yeah. Okay. Apparently I missed the par 5. I probably played it like a par 4. So I guess I eagled. No, but yeah, it's a hard course. You need to be accurate off the tee. You need to be even more accurate on your up shots. There's a lot of kind of guarded baskets in under trees. It is on a golf course, so skipping will come into play, especially with the wind and rain and the short grass. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice big on course, but even I can't reach some of the holes. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these up and comers, like Ken was talking about, will be attacking the course. Will they actually be attacking? Will they be playing for par? Because I would argue there's probably a lot more trouble out on this course than there are birdie opportunities. Which was really, for me, going to be about mitigating that trouble rather than making the opportunities for birdie. Okay. Birdie's just going to get you into more trouble.
What's the distance and par of the black course?
Distance and par days?
Oh, sorry. Steve?
3,200.
So par 74 and 3 kilometers.
Yeah, 3.2 kilometers, so the longest course of the majors. Also par 74, so the most difficult par of all the majors.
Is that is it 21 holes?
Yeah. The average per hole would be slightly less than both sides.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. And in terms of the red course, you said it was. Have I got that right? Sorry, the terminology of the.
Yeah, red is for most of like MA2, MA3, like FBO or is FBO long?
FBO's on. They're on the reds.
MA3, the rack is on the blue.
On the blue.
Another.
Okay. So
there are 3 layouts, 3 colors, black, red, and blue on the weekend.
So talk us through the red course then. What can people expect from that? It's shorter and a bit easier, I would have thought.
So obviously at Spa Park, they have 3 layouts permanently, so it's quite a decent combination of those those existing red holes. At the golf club, I guess it's basically just taking maybe 30 metres off some of the big holes. The 280 metres becomes 245, so that's kind of thing. So, it's a scaled down version, but how I like to think about it, the red is the regular layout, the blue is the easy layout, and the black is the pro layout. So rather than say, I'm playing all 3 off the short tees is the regular layout. So they are still tough. Ours is still going to be hard to come by. OBs are still tight. The basket's still hidden away. So it's rather than say this red's the shorter layout, red's the regular layout, black is the tough layout.
Okay.
Blue's the short layout.
So on the red layout.
I guess you don't have to be a massive arm on the red, but you have to still be quite decent in terms of distance, but at the same time very accurate. Whereas black, it's like you got to be massive and accurate. So it's just a slightly toned down version, but I guess both at Spa and the golf club, accuracy is absolutely essential. Otherwise, you'll end up OB or you'll end up stuck in the tree.
So what's going to be a good score then on the red course? What's the what are we looking at? What's going to be a leading score for MA 40? Is that or MA 2? Is that the top division in that course?
MA 40. There's some hot MA 2 players in here. I think
Yep.
hot MA 2 might score quite well. I'd be surprised double digits, 10 down. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be close.
Yeah. Okay. And on the black layout, what can the leaders be? What are they going to be looking to shoot?
Tomorrow not so much. I would imagine on a nice fine day, 5 to 6 tomorrow, the ball looks nasty. So
Oh, really?
Supposedly, I heard an MA1 player gave in at 7 down.
Wow.
Today was ideal conditions.
Okay.
It was sunny. It was calm.
Okay. So we can knock a few shots off for a change in weather.
I don't know if he's on the conditions are to speak of.
There's 10 out there. If you got your own Brooklyn, you give them 10.
Ray, you're used to the throwing of southern gale, so.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
where's that
yeah,
cyclone you
yeah,
guys have
yeah.
come through? Yeah, can we chat up another one? Just me.
I don't want to cut any more trees.
Excellent. So, talk us a little bit through the setup there. It looks a lovely golf club, at least the corner of it that I can see.
Yeah, in terms of what it took to set it up.
No, I mean, in turn, talk us through the facilities that you've got there for anybody like myself who's not able to make it this weekend.
Yeah, so Topo Golf Club is quite a they're in a great position. They're not very far from town. They've got 2 18-hole courses.
Wow.
One of them is called Centennial, which we do not play on, but we do have our hole-in-one competition off the first hole, which is really cool because it goes over a cool gully. And then the Tohara course is the course that we've reserved. It includes the driving range, and yeah, I guess the front 9 would be the more open, and the more kind of let's throw it out there and have it and a bit flatter as well. The back 9's got a lot of contour, and it's got a lot of cool features, and you've got some cool opportunities, and that's where we've got some cool go down this way and then go that way and then go that way kind of thing. So I think playing the back 9 to finish is a great way to finish a round, whereas the front 9 would be potentially a chance to soar a bit and then kind of hope for the best on the back. Yeah. But it's I get the other thing that I love is this clubhouse. It's a bit old school. Like, I don't know if you see the wood paneling above me. That kind of surrounds the place.
Yeah.
So I don't know, circa
2 stories. Big.
yeah, circa 50s, 60s kind of clubhouse. But I mean, this club has been around for ages. I see on the walls, stuff from the late 1920s. So the place has been around for ages, especially by Topo standards, because we don't have a lot of old houses around here, to be honest.
For me, this club is gorgeous. So lucky from car park to ruins. The grounds are stunning. The entranceways are really tidy. The signage is clean. The people are all dressed nice. This place is world class.
Yeah, and
So we wanted to put on an event that was world class.
And you don't know from the road too. From the road, you can't really tell much about it, and then you go down this cool winding road. Yeah, the drive-in is so cool. Narrow winding road, cool trees, and then you come out, it's like, wow, this is pretty awesome.
Oh.
And there's some gorgeous big trees. I mean, we went to Nationals. Nationals had some ridiculous trees in the park. That was outrageously good trees. I'm a tree guy.
Do you throw into them too, Ken?
Yeah, I love that.
Well, it's not a good thing to be at as a disc golfer.
This man knows as often as possible. No. But we also have some great trees here. Some really old, cool, tall pines. Some beautiful native stuff. Anyway, it's a great scene.
And the other thing, it's 500 metres from Spa Park, so the courses are really close together. NHQ is super easy to get to. I don't know how many people we had in here for players meeting. There must have been close to 200 people in here for the players meeting, and it was perfect. Plenty of tables, plenty of space, sound was good, great turnout.
They got a bar, they got a restaurant.
Yeah,
It's a
fantastic.
good spot.
Hayden, I saw you on a social media story flashing some cash earlier on today, and there was there was a skins match that occurred. Talk us through, for anyone who wasn't sure what was going on or doesn't know what I'm talking about. What happened?
Well, we were really lucky to have a sponsor come on board that said, we want to give some cash. There's often sponsors, it's product, we don't often get cash. So, yeah, we wanted to fill the week full of cool stuff rather than just have 3 days. So we, I guess, Steve Lawson actually, like I said, the third person, he's camera shy, but he has these awesome ideas, and so we just kind of got our heads together and came up with it. He's run most of that in the back end, and then we had an MC for the event, so rather than us being in front of the camera, personally running events in the past, I find it quite time consuming and having to then stand up in front, so it means I can carry him in the back behind, and we've got 2 really cool MCs, Shannon Garden, Shenanigans, and Michaela Kerr, both from Wellington.
Yep.
They've come up, they're going to be dancing. They went round and we chose 4 players that we thought were going to be pretty cool for people to watch, exhibition style. And then we had a social media competition to find the wild card. And Jay Watkinson was voted in. So we had Jay Watkinson wild card, we had Maxime Tondre from Belgium, the NDG Media was over, who was a monster crusher, man. Watch that. But, Jackson Sullivan, obviously, Mikey Youth, last year's winner, and Levi from Impacado. And so it was pretty cool. $1,000, $100 a hole, and then $200 on the last hole, and we had the winner. So it pushed all the way through to the end, and Jackson ended up taking $700.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Pretty cool. Good turnout. A little bit of safari that Steve Wilson chose. He knows the course super well, and he was going to score well, and holes that were going to, not push, but when you have 5 people playing skins, you're going to get a few pushes. But yeah, it was real nice, real cool to see people down there and turn out and watch that. So and it was filmed. NDG Media going to put out, they had their 3 camera crew down there, so we're looking forward to the footage of that. So yeah, pretty cool side event.
Fantastic. I think it's great that you've got side events and like other things going on, so that disc golf tournaments aren't just turn up and play. It's like almost like a festival, right? Where disc golf, the tournament, is one element of that. Whereas but there's heaps of other stuff going on. You've got your main stage, which is perhaps the tournament, and then you've got lots of little stages with stuff going on as well. I think that's great. That's great. Brady, what's your day been like? You've been practicing today. What's talk us through a little bit what you're going to be doing before you tee off tomorrow about 2:00, isn't it? 1:30.
Oh no, I got early.
Oh,
so
did you?
I have a 11:50 tee time. Tee time started 11 a.m. both courses, right? 9 a.m. both courses. Okay. I'm one of the first cards, MA1, so I'm around like 11:50. Hopefully, I'll be getting in before the rain. Rain's supposed to start coming down pretty rough around like 3 or 4. So fingers crossed for that. Just gonna be relaxing. We have another great Wellington house. It's really good to see all of the North Island crews around. I got to see Taranaki is in again. Huge contingent from Wellington. Topo, of course, is putting it on. There's absolutely incredible turnout from Auckland. That's a good healthy chunk of that MA2 who's come down. So it's really good to see, having just gone to Nationals and seeing the big crews down there from the South Island, like Monica, Christchurch, and Nelson. They come to the North Island event and see the same thing. So just be catching up with a lot of folks, and just, trying to relax into the weekend. I don't think I've ever been a North Island champ before, so it'd be nice to kind of put that title in there. But yeah, chasing the ratings and that kind of stuff, but honestly, it'll be just trying to relax, battle the elements, make sure I have all my towels dry, my extra pairs of socks, just in case.
Excellent. Some good tips there. Some good tips.
I got a sweet new microfiber towel, so that might.
I figured you knew it.
Most of that was pretty dope. It was pretty low. We were real lucky.
Brand new disc mania discs in there, weren't
they? The caravans that just dropped. Yeah, that's cool.
Fantastic. Right. Yeah. Let's get on then to a bit of predictions over who you think's going to take it out this weekend. I've got you on the screen with the so viewers at home can see the PDGA website, and we're down in the little corner. So talk us through who you think. I want a top 3 from each of you. Who's gonna take out MPO this weekend? Yeah, start an MPO. Who's gonna do it?
I'll start. My top 3. I won't give you 1, 2, 3. Next to Belgium. It's his style, of course. He's going to be, I like to see him on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
When I was designing the course, I had to go scout line quite a bit. I love the way he plays. Really enjoy his style. That's the way he thinks about it, so I would love to see him right up there. And, I mean, you can never rule out Jackson. Solid player, always has been. He's been around a long time, but always loved him. Watching his play, so yeah, it's not real Jackson out of these 3. But there's a lot of people that can take us out.
Yeah, Connor's won it before, Mike Hughes won it before. Like there's a lot of talent stacked field once again for another major. Ken, you got any favorites?
Yeah, like I what was it? Wednesday. Was it last night? Tuesday night. We went out. Once we'd set up the course enough, we went out with Max and one of Max's mates who've come down from Belgium, and then a bunch of our sort of MA2 level players. And yeah, I mean, watching Max sort of work out there is it's pretty cool to watch, and he's got a bit of a he's got direction at the moment. You know, he's got a real focus to the way he's playing, and I think he really wants this one. And I kind of got the sense chatting with Nate Perkins in that same way when we were down in Invercargill at Nationals. So I had a feeling that Nate was going to take it out, and I've got a feeling that Max is going to do the same this time. Top 3, I'd say I'm going to go Max, I'm going to go Ethan, and I'm going to go Levi.
Okay.
Max, Ethan, Levi.
Okay, all right. Brady?
Mikey, you sitting over
We got gallery over here. Mikey's all like,
Yeah.
He doesn't need our support to win this thing.
I'll go Levi over the Stout Brothers. We'll put him somewhere on the podium there. Okay, Max apparently has it. Let's join the Max train. But I'll stay on the Discmania train. Kana's won here before. Kana's hungry. He's got to prove to his new sponsor, that he's got it and that they back the right man. So he's here. Bit of Lads weekend. The Taranaki boys are behind him. So yeah, I do not think you can rule him out of this weekend. So he's going to be my third spot in the podium.
Jay Watkinson.
Look, so nobody mentioned Jay Watkinson in their top 3, and yet he was the highest placing Kiwi at Nationals. He came second by a narrowest of narrow margins at both the last 2 majors. How is this one going to play any different for him, do you think?
I mean, in the North Island, you just send him in a different direction. They do the opposite way around.
Once you cross the coast straight.
That's it, is it?
He was definitely on the line. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
his rating is just
it's
constantly going up. I think he went up to like 994, 995 rating.
Yep.
This last update.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, he was on the list.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think it's tricky to rule him out after 2 second places, and yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Jackson took home some cash in the skins match, but finished what I think he would consider to be quite a disappointing finish in both South Island Champs and Nationals. So is this a chance now he's in his home island to really punch back, Brady? Do you think?
Potentially, he was playing. He did kind of come storming in the back of both Garden City Open and Nationals. So the idea that he's starting to feel better. I know that he had an injury that he was battling through. I think it was his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Now that his knee recovered, he was battling that last year, so to have a shoulder injury this year, to kind of come through. I know that he's hungry. It's the same with Levi. Levi's hungry. He hasn't won the last couple big events. He's kind of had to watch. Ethan. Kind of take the limelight when in Garden City. Yeah, so no, it's going to be a good battle, and kind of a good battle in all divisions, MPO not included. The idea that, MA40, MP40 looks friggin' bad.
Mm.
The idea that anyone in MP40 theoretically, probably would be in winning a normal NZDG event and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. I look forward to kind of following all of the action in all of the divisions. I'm interested to see how close top of MA2 and bottom of MA2 is going to be, and to really see. Here's a 70-person division. You know, like how many people should really be in MA1? How many people actually should be in MA3? Like it's going to be good to watch on the weekend. There's going to be so many scores, so much things happening because we're going somewhere tomorrow night, right?
Yes, we are going to Jimmy Coop's on the lakefront, which is really
Yeah, then we're going somewhere else Saturday.
That's here. Hole in one.
Okay.
Food trucks.
Yeah, Saturday night party. Got a DJ.
Mikey U.
Mikey U.
DJ Mikey U.
Ping pong table, cornhole, good times. Hold on competitions, really good fundraiser for ETVs or classes watching. We're really lucky we have this elevated area with the clubbers and baskets 65 metres away over a gully with a cart pass. So we've got locals driving the carts down the current discipline. Anyone gets it in, it's three throws for $10, and it's five throws for $10. Sorry, it's been a long day. Bag it in, it's $1,000. We took the idea last year off. If anyone's ever been to Taupo, there's
Into the lake, right?
You got the lake thing, yeah.
Ball golf, you know, that's that crazy
Yeah, yeah.
game. They've got to hit that little tiny ball with that long stick.
Like how anyone hits that? How anyone hits that? I'll never know. I'll never know.
Yeah. It was a huge success last year. We had 97 entries last year, and
Wow.
already we've pre-sold 75 pre-sold, and I reckon people will be like, ooh, I have another go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's only $10, right? So you've probably got $10 in change, so you just chuck it in and go, all right, let's have a go. That's it. Fantastic. Right, anything that we haven't covered? Anything that you want to go through for people?
No, not really, but we're getting some dirty looks from the staff here.
Okay. It's closing time there, is it?
Yeah,
So
we got
okay.
an early morning tomorrow. I think the guys still got a little bit to set up to do. I got some mental crap that I got to go through. But massive shout out to these guys. This course is looking absolutely amazing. Everything that's going on. The people in the background that you can't see, that we can see, that are just off the camera.
Give us a cheer, everyone.
Yeah, it's incredible. So yeah, it's going to be such a great weekend. I can't wait.
Fantastic. Look, thank you so much for joining us. Very best of luck with the rest of the prep and for the tournament. I'll be following all of the results, especially the Wellingtonians and the Team Sweet Chain guys, very closely over the weekend. Very best of luck to everybody competing, and thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time, Brady. We'll see you next week.
Cheers, thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
See you later.
It's
Right, let's go. That's not the one. That's the one. There we are. Excellent. So, looks like they are all set up, ready to go in Topor for this weekend. You can follow all the scores on pdga.com /live it is, and you can also go to the PGA site and click through the links there if you want to follow all of the scores. So yeah, it's going to be quite a competitive division. Let us know who you think's going to win. You can do that either in the comments below, or you can hop on to our Discord. Now, our Discord is our Discord, which you may not have been on before, is a chat group, basically where you can one of the functions, along with showing off what discs you've received, and we do some giveaways on here occasionally. You can bet on who you think's going to win. So we've got some odds here on who's going to take out the tournament. We've got Levi coming in at odds of 3.6, Jacko at 4, Jay Watkinson 4.3, Conor McKinstry 7.5, Ethan Stout 7.7, Simon Feasy 8.6, and Joe Berry 8.7. If you don't like any of those, you can bet on who will finish the highest out of these guys. Now, Maxime is coming in at 4.6, which might seem like some good value. The way that's calculated is he's only played 2 tournaments, right? So we don't have too much data. He performed very well in those 2 tournaments, but didn't win either of them. And so that's why the price is perhaps a little bit longer than it might otherwise be. But he's up against Mikey U at 5.5, Mark Dakiv at 6.6, David Keane, all the way up to Francis Orange at 10. In MP40, it looks like it's going to be a battle really between Anthony Rogers and Hemi Tefitu, neither of whom played in the 2 previous majors. So it's going to be quite an interesting battle to see who can do it on. I know Joe Seebeck will want to come back strong, and Mike Foley is obviously also dangerous in his home island. In MA1, Brady Cush is the favourite at 3.2 with Nicholas Gouldner at 4s. Josh Love Parrott slightly back at 4.7. Then there's a gap to Brian Rawlins at 7.9. Will there be an ace on day 1? If you bet for this, then you can. The odds on this change as we go along. It looks like there's been a little bit of favoritism for yes. So if you bet on there'll be an ace on day 1, then you can pick yourself up some coins there. And finally, FPO, Michelle Simpson is the odds-on favourite to take out FPO with odds of 1.3. So get involved on the Discord. The link for our Discord is in the description of this video, and so head over there and place your bets. Let us know who you think is going to win. Finally, is just to tell you about a few things we've got in the pipe work in terms of Sweet Chain Music. So, as I said, the data analytics team have been working so hard recently on, and they've really just, it's like they've found a new way of accessing a whole bunch of data, which is going to really enrich things. Last year we did a data presentation which showed courses up and down the country, how the quality of that compares. What we're also now able to do is delve a little bit into the history of New Zealand disc golf, especially in terms of PDGA sanctioned results. And as a result of that, what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of fun with this, is we're going to have a quiz. We're going to have a live quiz. We're going to do it on the show. You can get involved. There'll be prizes up for grabs. You'll be able to play along through Twitch. You'll be able to play along through the website, and otherwise you'll be able to take part at home and see if you can beat your mates. Do you know the history of New Zealand disc golf? Who's played well? Who hasn't? How many rounds have been played? And what have the best scores been? We'll have a little bit of all of that. But also what that data tells us is it tells us trends. And we can look at trends that have happened over the last few years and over the last few months. And we can, to some degree, predict what we think is going to happen going forwards. And so when we were talking to the guys there about the inflation of the MA2 division from the MA3 division previously, we'll be able to see this bulge move through the divisions. Obviously, there's some attrition to that as it goes, but we can expect that the MA1 division is also going to bulge at some point in the future. We'll be able to have a little guess over what we think that's going to look like and when that'll be, and then eventually into the MPO division. That's important because there's going to be tournament directors up and down the country who might need to work out how many people can fit on a course and how many people can play in a particular day. We've hit around the 250 mark for each of the 3 big majors this year, and they've really set a really good standard. So I think that what we'll see is the MPO division getting bigger in time, and the MA1 division before that. It'll be interesting to see how tournament directors respond to that in time. We'll have all the information there. So join us in a couple of weeks' time when we're going to have we'll have a quiz. Otherwise, we'll be back next week, next Thursday, with our results show of North Island Champs. Brady will be joining me, and we'll have a guest on the show, hopefully the winner. We shall see if we can get the winner of North Island Champs to join us. Otherwise, wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some